There's a guy by the name of Paul Vallely. He's a retired major general, and he's a Fox News analyst. So that's your first warning, okay? So, oh boy, he is going to be talking to Tea Party patriots on December 3rd in Surprise, Arizona. And he's got a couple of surprises of his own. Based on a question to him, he starts talking about armed revolution. Now, mind you, as you're going to hear in the tapes here, from time to time he's laughing and smiling throughout. But the topic's not funny at all, if you ask me. Let's start listening.
I had a call this afternoon from Idaho. The gentleman said, if I give you 250,000 Marines to go to Washington, will you lead them? I said, yes, I will. I'll surround the White House and I'll surround the Capitol building. But it's going to take physical presence to do things.
A physical presence to do things. Look, he was laughing there, and maybe he means marching as a form of physical presence. Now, if you're a retired major general talking about an armed revolution, probably not the way to go. But if he had just left it at that, you just say he's joking, right? But let's give you more context. Here's what he went on to say.
Writing letters to these senators and congressmen, I am so frustrated because nothing happens. So I think I'm not inciting a revolution, but we've got to get more physical and stand up and protest.
Okay, that's the second reference to a revolution, and saying that, you know, the normal political course isn't working. Just because his congressmen or senators don't happen to listen to this one guy, he's frustrated and says, we got to get physical. Now, but he did mention at the end there, stand up and protest. Okay, is he going to say anything more? Yes. Keep going.
The great things that the Tea Party did, I mean, they were out there in community, standing up, being seen. They did things. So we got to go based on what the Tea Party has done and elevate it into something and get more younger people involved. So I don't know how else to do it.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure how to do it, so why don't we all grab guns and head down to Washington? Let's just elevate, I like that language, elevate what the Tea Party started. He's like, and I don't know how to get young people involved other than a coup. I can think of a couple other ways. All right, one more for you guys.
And I don't want to be criticized as starting a revolution, but I'd certainly head it if we had to. We all love a good fight if it's worth it, right?
No. I don't like a good fight if it involves a coup on the president and the government of the United States of America. So if you were unconvinced by the first three, the last one kind of did it for me, right? Because he did mention a couple times standing up and protesting. But in the end, the third mention of armed revolution, and flat out saying, and no longer laughing or anything about that, saying, hey, if you need somebody to lead it, I'd step up. Okay, well, that would be treason, and highest crime there is in the Constitution. So what I love is that these guys claim to be the most American. No, you see, treason against the U.S. government would make you the least American. It's the same thing with the Civil War. A lot of the South, like, oh, we're Americans. No. The guys with the Confederate flags, you're the least American people in the country. You're the only people who actually revolted against America, right? So, and to me, the more disturbing part, other than this jackass who's a Fox News analyst, right, is the audience reaction, like, oh yeah, armed revolt, that's awesome, let's do a coup, yeah, let's go get them. You know, but also that's a defeat of their ideas, meaning like, well, look, we tried, we don't know what the hell we're doing, we're stupid. So, well, what do stupid people do when they can't win based on ideas? They grab a gun. And so it begins. It's the beginning of a conversation about armed revolts and coups. And this is what happens when, you know, guys who are steeped in gun culture and believe that force is always the answer. And, you know, I don't know the retired major general's military history, but given our overall military history, I'm not surprised that he thinks the answer is always violence. He forgot the question. So here again, he thinks, well, if politics doesn't do the job, let's go to violence. And my right-wing audience loves it. Now, what do you think would have happened if a retired general during the Bush years talked about doing a coup against George W. Bush? How do you think Fox News would have reacted to that? Yeah. And now imagine if that retired general was black. And he went to a black audience in, name it, North Philly, Baltimore, and said, hey, maybe we should grab some guns, get 250,000 black guys, surround George W. Bush, and do an armed coup. How do you think Fox News would have reacted to that? No word yet on whether he's been fired. Don't hold your breath.